Much like the principles used for cold storage, all dry goods should have a date code or expiry date in order to ensure that the first in, first out policy applies. Dry storage areas are more likely to encounter chances of chemical and physical contamination than cold storage, yet still have the possibility of biological contamination. The dry store is often overlooked in terms of food safety because of the long shelf life of the products. Yet, for example, a weevil infestation could contaminate all your dry stock in a matter of days. Therefore, all dry goods should be covered in order to ensure quality is maintained and to prevent pest harborage of pests and insects. Food should be stored separately from equipment and chemicals, reusable open containers, or transferred to resealable containers. All decanted items should be given a date code and include the expiry date. So what equipment should be used to ensure safe food and storage? Plastic sealable containers of various sizes, labels or a marker pen, and cling film. All food should also be covered, date coded and labeled to ensure that a good stock rotation system is in place. It is also important to note that the use of cardboard boxes should also be limited once the process of delivery has occurred. This will assist in food safety by limiting exposure of foods to the open environment, prevent pest harborage, and prevent bacteria from surviving in dampened cardboard. Cardboard boxes are inescapable when it comes to manufacturing and transport of food products. It is a cost-effective way of being able to transport products, and there are obvious benefits in recyclability. Yet, cardboard boxes as a rule are not safe for usage for the storage of foods in a kitchen. Here's why. These boxes come into contact with areas that are dirty and would otherwise be in areas where food is not safe to keep. Packaging by its nature is not stored as safely as food is required to be stored. The kitchen takes on the risk of the supplier delivering the products. The kitchen does not know how and in what conditions the boxes were kept in transport, and the visible appearance is not always a true indicator that the boxes are clean. Pests have been known to lay eggs in the corrugated areas of the boxes, in other words the spaces between the boxes meant for insulation. These are not always visible, and before you know it, you've got a pest infestation. Bacteria are able to survive on wet cardboard, which encourages cross-contamination rather than reducing the risk. So what about single-layer boxes? The single-layer boxes don't have spaces to allow pest infestation, and these have generally been accepted as okay in the food safety industry. However, there is still a risk of damage, which opens the foods contained within the boxes to the outside environment, which affects quality and safety. In addition, the risk of wet boards supporting the growth of bacteria is still present. So what are the solutions? Ideally, eliminating boxes once received into the kitchen is the best option. Products can be transferred into sealable containers that prevent damage of the product and prevent cross-contamination concerns. Sourcing alternative packaging for items that bruise easily is available as a foam packaging. Keeping the use of cardboard boxes to the absolute minimum, such as mushrooms only, and single-layer boxes if absolutely necessary. So what about boxes for frozen products? Cardboard boxes are acceptable for frozen products, but purely from a practical perspective, meaning that it is often impossible to get the product out of the box without thawing the product in order to do so. In such circumstances, once the product is ready to be thawed and used, the boxes should be stored in an area of the fridge dedicated for this purpose and away from possible cross-contamination, and removing the boxes once as possible.